Hey there, this is a relatively new type of video for me to make, as before this, I've just been making gameplay videos or animations. This is a video that I made without a script, so I'm going to stumble over words, lose my train of thought, or simply forget where I was, which may cause me to backtrack on some aspects, so keep that in mind as we go along. This is the top 10 things that I would like to see in Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee Remastered. This is a Godzilla game that's coming out in November, and I'm really excited for it. So here's the top 10 things that I would like to see in the game when it comes out. Now, what do I mean by co-op? Co-op in this sense would be a two-player story mode with you and a friend that you can invite online or play locally with. In this mode, the game will be locked to hard mode with your opponents doubling as well, making story mode a 2v2. This is to prevent you and a friend from steamrolling through the games and keeping it a challenge. The playable monsters in this mode will remain unchanged and act similarly to Versus, with you and a friend being able to pick separate monsters or the same monster, so you and a friend can play with whatever monster they know best, are most comfortable playing as, or are trying to learn without worrying about being locked out of them. This game mode could also offer unique endings based on which monsters are chosen, such as an ending with both Godzillas, a Godzilla and King Ghidorah, Rodan and Anguirus, and so on. Let's get an obvious one out of the way now, skins. These would be a nice way to include newer monsters without having to worry about making them entire playable characters. However, the skins must fit the character for them to fully work, in my opinion. This is how Pipeworks could include monsters such as Monster vs. Godzilla, Void Ghidorah, Showa Rodan, or Final Wars Anguirus, to name a few. Skins can be unlocked by beating the story mode with specific monsters a certain amount of times, or by beating a specific monster a certain amount of times. For example, Singular Point Anguirus can be unlocked by beating the story mode 21 times, to reference Singular Point's release date being in 2021. For customization, you could argue that my skins placement could belong here, but the idea I have in mind for customization is very different. The idea I have in mind would be similar to Super Smash Bros. 4, with unlockable moves for each monster, or color changes to beam attacks. The custom moves can be unlocked by using a certain move a specific amount of times, such as the Fireball on Godzilla 90s being replaced by a Nuclear Pulse after using the Fireball attack a specific amount of times. Color changes to energy attacks such as beams and fireballs will be available from the start, as they are purely visual with no real advantage or disadvantage from using it. This is a nice way to personalize your monsters when playing online, with friends, or even alone. An example of this could be with Godzilla 2000 having a purple beam instead of its normal fiery orange color. Another customization idea I had was Versus mode settings, like what Godzilla Unleashed or the fan game Godzilla Save the Earth Melee had, with giant or smaller monsters, military presence, changing the spawn rates for power-ups, changing the speed and HP of monsters, and more. These would help make fights with friends or computers a lot more fun and entertaining when you're not playing online or story mode. It would also help give Versus mode a reason for players to visit it when compared to the online game mode or the story mode. Since this is a fighting game, a ranked system or game mode is almost a necessity to include. This would have its own separate game mode, with its own arena, which would be the fighting ring from the original Xbox version of the game. The stage will change based on what rank you are. Speaking of ranks, there are 5 ranks I was able to come up with for the system, those being the usual Bronze, Silver, and Gold, but with 2 with a unique title being Alpha Monster and King of the Monsters. Based on the rank, the arena will change to fit the rank you're in. Bronze, Silver, and Gold ranks will have the arena be those colors, a diamond color with the game's logo for the Alpha Monster rank, and for King of the Monsters, the arena will be the game's logo, which will include several monsters around the logo. I would draw mock-ups of these ideas on how the arenas would look depending on each rank you're in, but I'm not a very good drawer, so these are up to your interpretations on how you think the arena would look. Much like the rank system, leaderboards are also a necessity to happen. There can be separate leaderboards for each monster and game mode in the game, such as which monster someone played with the most, who beat story mode the fastest, and who's the top player in rank. Overall, this is something that will be a nice addition to the game, as most games in this style have a leaderboard, but with a game like this, the leaderboard can be expanded to more than just playtime and ranked, such as who your friends played the most, their fastest time in story mode, and what their ranks are, which can help players keep track of their friends' progress. An example of this can be the leaderboard in Garden Warfare 2, the Crazy Targets leaderboard, which keeps track of your highest time and your time with each character you completed it as. What I mean by custom maps is by giving the players the ability to create their own arenas, like Mario Maker levels or Halo 3 maps, with presets for players to choose from and a blank box to build it. Players can choose the ground from the different locations in the game, like Monster Island or a city, along with color customization, which can allow even more environments, such as an Arctic-based arena or an ocean-based arena. Players can also choose what building and rocks can be present in the arena. The time of day or weather can also be chosen for these custom maps to help with immersion. Military can be changed to fit the environment, such as ships and submarines for ocean-based arenas, and strictly air-based military vehicles such as jets for Arctic-based arenas. These custom arenas can only be played in versus mode with friends in a custom lobby. Story mode and ranked are not filled with random environments that don't fit the game's theme. What I mean by custom game modes is by giving the player the ability to choose what kind of game mode they want their versus or online game to be, such as a 50v50 game mode, a battle royale, an infection-based game mode, team battles, hide and seek, and more. This can help make online and versus feel more diverse with plenty of options to choose from, and any game mode to fit a player's style without making the game feel repetitive or boring. The same game modes over and over again. Unless Pipeworks remasters Godzilla Save the Earth and Godzilla Unleashed join the line, they can have post-launch updates to include monsters from those games, such as Space Godzilla from Save the Earth or Obsidious from Unleashed. These would also include the usual post-launch updates, such as bug fixes, balancing tweaks, or changes to monsters and updates. For DLC, I was thinking they could include guest monsters, such as Ultraman, Gamera, or the Evas from Evangelion. They can also include map packs, which have 2 or more entirely new maps to play on in story mode or versus mode. DLC would be reserved for monsters that were not in the original trilogy, guest monsters, or entirely new and original maps. That way the DLC is not affecting the original trilogy's cast of monsters or their maps, but rather for the new and original content for the game. What this means is simply throughout the game, there can be special events or seasons online or story mode that are based on the different eras throughout Godzilla's history. These could be used as a method to unlock specific skins, such as a -1 skin for Godzilla, or a Super Mechagodzilla skin for Kiryu. These would help pay tribute to Godzilla's long history, and an example on how this could work is the mobile game Godzilla Battle Line, where each season for that game is based on a specific Godzilla film or guest monster. Seasons in this game, however, would be more scarce and rare to occur. And that is all I've been able to come up with for this top 10 wish list of things I would like to see in Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee Remastered. I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day or night whatever time of day or night it is for you, and goodbye.